Welcome back, creative writers. You found yourself in another daily writing motivation stream where we will try to get some writing done. As we've been trying out the past couple weeks, we're going to keep it very casual. I'm going to be doing a free write today. So if you want to just come hang out, try to get some brainstorming, writing, editing, or any of that writing craziness done with your novel, come hang out with me. I'll throw on some music and we will see what we can accomplish. Or let's say maybe you're taking a break from writing. Feel free to come hang out in the comments. I would love to hear, how is the writing going today? Are you making any progress? Or maybe you're just ready for the weekend. So drop a comment and come say hi. Welcome to the WriteNow community. I'm Kauffman, and I'm on a mission to solve all the writing problems of the world by putting a dragon on it. So that is what's on my mind today, and we're starting right now. All right, my friends, let me just hop into the comments. Marta, welcome back, my friend. Long time no chat. Hope everything is well. Megan, welcome back. Glad to have you in here. ML, what's up? ML in the house. And Miss Tiara talks writing, and Mr. John Stevenson, welcome. So glad to have all you guys in here. Thanks for joining me today for a Friday stream. For those of you who've been joining me recently, I've been making some decent progress with Scarecrow. Once I recovered from sickness, I made some good progress with Scarecrow. I am getting close to the end of Act 1. All it took was me adding an inanimate hand, which is basically like the Addams Family hen and walks around. And then we had foot, and now we've added some interesting characters to our fantasy world. So I'm going to be hopping into it. As you can see, I have my writing stuff all set up. For those of you who don't know, I am in the second draft of my story, The Last Scarecrow. I like to make the editing portion, which is the second revision, as easy as possible, right? My rough draft came out to about 140,000 words. Now, something that I try and to help you, right? So that way you don't get overwhelmed when you're working on your rough drafts. I try to show you my strategy, right? So when I'm working on a draft, I break it up chapter by chapter. And with each chapter, I'm noting my characters. I'm summarizing what the chapter is about. Sometimes I'll review that next chapter that I'm about to revise before I go into it. Sometimes I don't need to, based on what I remember. And then I have my second draft goals, right? So these are the things that I know I need to accomplish throughout by going through this draft based on all of the goals that I had set prior to starting this entire draft. I had a whole document that was throughout September. So this is what we're going to do. As you can see, sometimes I do character development, sometimes it's plot, but every single chapter I will add foreshadowing. So I'm always a big proponent of foreshadowing. My personal storytelling, I like to really challenge my readers to see if they can catch all of the clues throughout the story. So that way, by the time they get to the midpoint and to the ending and the climax, it feels incredible. But were they able to have guessed it? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on how well they read through the story or the reread. So that's part of my strategy. Let's see. I am about to hop into chapter 9. I think this arc that I'm working on with my story, I retitled the last couple of chapters. From chapter 7 is Trial by Hand, Trial by Monstrosity, and then Trial by Fire. And I think it's actually a nice lead up to this arc of the Scarecrow on his current mission to figure out what's going on in this kind of ruinous city. So that's me. That's where I'm at with Last Scarecrow. I would love to hear how is the editing going on your stories, whether you're working on the first or the second draft. Do you have any editing styles that work for you? I'd love to hear. Drop a comment. I'm going to throw up some music and start working on my end. I'll come join y'all in the comments. All right. And let me go here. Perfect. And we are going to go some class list. Hey, by the way, I just wanted to welcome in Kara. Welcome, welcome. I always like to welcome new community members here. You said I'm only running a few minutes late. I'm working on a paid editing project. Well, I feel you, my friend. Doing a lot of book editing myself, especially with clients, I totally understand what that's like. But thanks for dropping by. I would love to hear Kara, what type of writing do you do? Or if you're able to say like what type of stories you've been editing. I know I end up editing like all different types of stories. So very, very cool. You should actually definitely, Kara, make sure you drop by to tomorrow's stream. I'm actually doing a special editing stream where I'm going to be reviewing 8 of the most common editing mistakes that I see most writers make. So you should definitely drop by tomorrow. All right, awesome. Back to it. Let's go. All right, quick writer break. I was like, oh, I had to do a quick stretch break. I feel like I've made a good initial push into this chapter that I'm working on. I Like I said, I'm on about page 93, but the text is blown up for writing and visibility purposes. I think once it's pushed down to 12 point, probably be close to like 60 to 70 pages. But I feel pretty happy. I mean, in this chapter, am I really dealing with the A plot? No, we're kind of dealing with we're dealing with a couple minor plots right now. Yeah, we're kind of dealing with a couple minor plots, and I'm trying to get our hero Scarecrow through into this next trial. I think because I've added this supporting a hand character, I've had to just do some cleaning up. In the original draft, we just had Scarecrow coming across this carpet, this coming across quilt and fighting this beast, and then going on these other obstacles to find Mr. Crow. In the second draft, now that I've introduced the hand as a guide, now we have Scarecrow, a hand, and the quilt who are traveling to find the Tin Wizard, which Scarecrow believes Mr. Crow is with the Tin Wizard now. So I'm kind of tying those plots into each other. I made the mystery less about Scarecrow finding Crow, because I think in the original draft I had put Scarecrow wanting to find Mr. Crow, but because I realized that they had been so like newly acquainted, I didn't know if that felt like it would be a strong enough motivation, which is why I kind of created this Tin Wizard plot, which is really pointing to our upcoming mentor type character, which I think is working. I might have to get some feedback on this first on Act 1 of this novel after I finish writing it, to make sure that for a fantasy action adventure, that it feels like that it's doing enough intrigue, that it's doing enough pull, that it makes the reader invested enough to be like, hey, I want to see the Scarecrow get to this next major point. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy about it. I think I'm happy with how the chapter is coming on. I think the back end of this chapter, I don't think I have to do too much revising on my end. All right. So where are we at? By the way, how's the editing going for you guys? I hope you're able to make a little progress on your end. I kind of go in and out of a stream of conscious with my own writing, but I've realized that since I've been trying out these free writes this week and last week, it's helping me to make a little bit more progress. But I'd actually love to hear from you. Do you like doing the open free writes and just talking whenever, or do you prefer the writing sprints? Do you prefer like that time of like, all right, writing sprint helps me to focus for a set period of time? I'd love to hear that. I know, I mean, we're on episode 245 of Kauffman Writes, and I want to say the first 200 or so episodes I've generally done writing sprints. And I know with author tubers, writing sprints is kind of the standard. So I was trying something different, seeing how it feels for a couple weeks. But by the way, though, if you're enjoying kind of just like this casual writers hangout, or if this helps you with writing motivation, tap that follow and subscribe button. Come join us. We're streaming every single day with the WriteNow community. Whether you're needing like daily writing motivation, during the week is more casual, like let's write. Weekends tend to be like author interviews, specialty live streams, critique show. We have some major holiday writing events coming up and much, much more. So if you want to be alerted whenever we're going live, today is day 348 of our consecutive writing live streams, then tap those follow and subscribe buttons and you'll be alerted when we go live. All right, my friends, I felt like that was a good time for that. Kara, I know we were kind of talking about editing. Whenever I get other editors, I always love chatting about other like editing styles and techniques that work. You're saying I've actually only had romance and romantic drama authors as clients so far. I just started editing professionally this year. I've actually only had romance and romantic drama authors as clients. Well, that's awesome. That's really awesome that you've been able to be getting some consistent work. That's very, very awesome, my friend. I know, well, I've done editing for a couple years. I've predominantly done ghostwriting for the past 10 years as like a side like freelancing thing. And then this past year, since I've really played into this daily writing live stream, I've really played more into the editing, because the editing kind of goes a little bit more hand in hand with what I'm doing already on the live stream, especially with like the critique stuff and writing. So I've been playing more into my editing services when I like talk about writing stuff. So I totally get that. But I know like romance is definitely very popular. I think romantasy is a very, very popular genre. So it's always fun doing editing for different types of like romance authors. It's definitely been fun for sure. All right, let's see. Back to it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get to this chapter if it's the last thing I do. And I'm like, I'm not gonna make too many revisions. I'm gonna tell myself, tell me guys, if you ever deal with this, you're like, all right, I'm not gonna make any changes, and then you make changes to your writing. That definitely does not happen to me sometimes. All right, I'm going to make little changes and get through this chapter. All right, throw that back on, and let's go display this. All right, my friends. I feel like that was probably a good stopping point for me. I'm glad I was able to get in a couple pages. I did just around 1,000 words, give or take. So I'm pretty happy with the progress I made on my end. I kind of feel myself hitting that stopping point for the session. I'm like, all right, well, I feel like I made a good flow with what I got today. So I'm pretty happy with that part. I hope you were able to get some writing and some creativity in yourself. And yeah, that brings me to creative writing on the morrow. Make sure you guys come join us for our specialty live stream tomorrow, where I'm going to be going over with the writing community 8 common edits that a lot of writers miss, especially if you're trying to cut down on words yourself. You're either self-editing, or before you send it off to an editor, you can reduce word counts to help you just improve the quality of your own editing speed and your own self-edits during early drafts of your novel. So definitely come join us. I'll be here 1 p.m. Pacific, 2, 3, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll be here tomorrow, and it will be a great Saturday. If you enjoyed the stream, tap the like button on the way out. Help me show the algorithm that writing streams are cool. All right, my friends, it's been great able to get some solid writing in for today, but unfortunately, that brings us to the end of the stream. Don't forget, words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kauffman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, writers.